So today is one of the best car guy days there is. It's the day where you start a new build. And if you read the title, I'm gonna do something that people might think is a little silly, but we will get to that. I've decided to go back to my roots with this build. When we started off-roading, we didn't really know what we were doing. I actually ended up in a really great truck for it, and we just kind of went out in the woods and we stress tested the trucks. I was on almost bald all-terrain tires, but they did good enough until I realized they didn't. They were getting all slicked up in mud, and I was like, I need new tires. And that led to spacer lift, and that, just to get it up, and I did an add leaf in the rear, and so it was up higher, big chunky wheels. It looked great. It actually performed great for the years I had the truck. I didn't really have any issues. And then when I had to eventually get rid of that first Xterra, I ended up with an FJ, and that's when we went buck wild. We went nuts with the parts. I was so excited. Full suspension, welded, steel front bumper, winch, just everything. I built the mess out of that truck, and it was awesome. It was plush off-road. It was great. But I don't know if all that extra money I spent really got me that much more, did I have that much more fun with the fully built thing? So to try to answer that question for me, and hopefully for you guys, I'm going to go back to a spacer lift on this truck. I really want to reset and figure out kind of where it's really worth it to spend money, where you can cut corners, where you get, where's the fun coming from? That's what I want to know. Where is the fun coming from? So let's figure that out. Oh, okay, so let's address a couple of the elephants in the room here, because a lot of people are going to have opinions on putting spacer lifts on off-road vehicles. First thing is, I want to build this truck based around the tires. I already have tires picked out. I'm really excited about. I think they'll be perfect for what we do off-road. To get them to fit the way that I want to is just kind of the problem that we're solving today. There are a lot of different ways to do this. There's a lot of different suspension kits for these things. With the Xterra themselves, a very popular thing to do is a Titan swap, where you take the whole suspension from a Nissan Titan, and it all just kind of bolts up. And it's much better articulation, makes it way wider in the front. It looks sick as hell, frankly. I probably want to do something more than spacers in the future. But for the phase one, just to get the tires, just to kind of quench that nostalgia feeling and see, how good this actually is, this is why I want to start here. And the best thing about them is this is a very cheap way to go. So Max Speeding Rods was kind enough to send us some of these out to throw on the truck. I didn't know they made these or provided these for the truck. They do. It's awesome. Thank you, Max Speeding Rods. But kits like this, you can get them for like $100, and that gives you like a 2-inch lift, kind of on average across the board. And these sit right on top of your stock shocks. And so your day-to-day ride travel will feel very similar. It's just you've given away a lot of your down travel, and so when you're going over obstacles, you're gonna bottom out much faster, much harder. It's gonna feel more rougher as you're articulating and dropping down into holes. So that's the trade-off. But for the vast majority of driving, it's gonna feel pretty similar. So these are a fantastic, in my opinion, starting point for anyone who's just trying to get into off-roading. With them being this cheap, you really don't feel like you are sinking a bunch of money into the suspension, like you're going too far down one path. It's very easy to decide to upgrade to a proper suspension later if you want, and it's just not too big of a pill to swallow to just take these off. And you might be able to resell them to the next guy. So with that being said, let's get this thing jacked up. We'll probably put you on time lapse and do this because it's really simple. We're just taking off basically taking off the shock, mounting this to the top of it, and slotting it right back in. And it should be that easy. Oh, but the last thing, sorry, to make the geometry work, and to keep this relatively inexpensive, I went and got some Amazon upper control arms that are designed for the lift of this truck. So we're gonna see if these fit. Hopefully these fit. It should help keep the geometry in spec with the 2 to 4 inch lift. And these are like $100. Like you can spend a ton of money on upper control arms. But we're trying to do this on a budget and see what the budget build looks like first before we go crazy on it. So let's do it. Okie dokie. Oh, Bilsteins are out. These are a little old, little dated, but they will do for now. They still feel pretty good under the car. So this is actually pretty simple. Another pro for these things. It's not too much work, and something like there is a right way. Boop. Just like that. Just fits on top like that. You take the old hardware, drop it in these little holes, and like, oh, should fit. Is this the wrong one? Can't be. Can't be. What? Justin, am I going insane? We've done this. We did this already. We did this already. So, you saw in that earlier clip, I was a little confused because what's supposed to happen, you just drop those in like that, tighten them down, everything's good. Everything's Gucci. What you're seeing us do right here, when I tried to do that same thing, I even used the same one. I tried to, oh, it doesn't fit. And we're like, what happened? How can we have 2 different size holes? Well, if you flip it upside down, now that fits. So they studded these backwards. You play a fun game when you're down here in Budget Parts doing this stuff. This is a salvageable, fixable, not the end of the world. It's just going to take us a second to refix this thing. There she goes. Okay, so now you put them on like this. You drop them in the holes. They fall right on. Boop. Give it a little torque down with the 14. Just twist them in. Torque them down. Click, click. Click, click. And throw it back in. Oh, also, we got in the habit of test fitting all of our cheaper stuff just to make sure it fits. Upper control arm's also in right here. So, basically going backwards. And just like that, this is all on. I got to torque everything down, and this side should be good to go. So, a little bit of hang-ups, but I think we've hopefully figured out most of the kinks. So, let's keep going. Hopefully be able to show you guys something cool here in a second. Oh, okay, and like, what was this, 2 hours on the driver's side? So, the internet likes to not tell you the truth. When you do a lot of these things, like research on doing the upper control arms, like, oh yeah, a couple bolts comes right out easy. On this Xterra, what you don't see, or what you might not notice if you haven't done it before, is that they always do the passenger side. Driver's side, this bolt is the other way, so it has to come this way, and this is directly in the way. And like, you cannot get it out. And then you start doing research and everybody's like, gotta cut it out, gotta cut it out. You don't have to cut it out, but you do have to like loosen up the steering column and jiggle it, and you need a buddy with a pry bar to really get in there and save the day and give you enough space to get it out. It sucked, but we're back on track, we're back in business, putting this on. Since today's spacer day, I'm also putting a 1-inch spacer here. because I was going to go wheels on this thing. I was going to, you know, my build's all wheels and tires. I really want to do this budget to start. I really want to be like, okay, let's completely reset, go back to my mid-20s. How was I riding around on things? What was it like? We're doing this truly budget. And that means wheel spacers. So I got 1-inch wheel spacers off eBay. They're hub centric. They should be okay. Like obviously, you know, there are much nicer wheel spacers. I used Spider Tracks for a while on the FJ because we did run spacers on the FJ and the 4Runner before we went to our, you know, expensive, high quality ones. I'm truly doing budget like I did back when I had no money. So we're doing it the actual budget way. So a lot of yapping to say front's done. So we're gonna put it down here in a sec and see what it looks like. Now, you know us, we completely forgot to take any measurements before we put this down. But I'll tell you, it's gotta be higher. I mean, it's a spacer. Yeah, a little bit higher. Wow. That's like a 3-inch lift up front. I know it's got to settle. It's a little bit higher. Oh! Yes! Big boy. Big boy. Oh. Yeah, we'll see. So, as I said, the main downside with the spacer is that you eat up a lot of your down travel on your suspension. That's the biggest thing where that's where a lot of like the very rough ride comes from. Like OEM riding around town feels stock because it is stock, it's stock suspension. But when you go into an off-road or go into any sort of drop situation, you max out immediately, bonk, come down on it pretty hard, and it just doesn't feel as good. So I'm expecting that to be the case. But yeah, we're going to definitely put this thing through the paces. And I'll come back and tell you if I'm like, I made a big mistake putting on this super cheap suspension and you should just do it the right way. Or if I truly think this is the best way to start. But it's its exact height. If you're looking aesthetically, like this thing goes from like just a nice little street putter to like this feels like a big honking truck. This feels good. This is what I want. So I'm definitely happy there. Now it's got to make the rear match. Okay, so got it off. These were a pain. Now, this truck is from California. It's actually super clean underneath. The bolts have been like amazing to take off. There's just been a couple like niggling things because it did live in Colorado for a time. These are all rusted out underneath on the old shackles. That was a big PITA, but we got it off. So now we got these new heavy duty max speeding rods ones. And hopefully they don't need much modification, but you can tell the difference right here. If I put them the same way, it's gonna add a couple inches to that shackle. So we're just gonna put those on and then get the truck down. But yeah, we're very close to being done. This took a little bit longer than we thought, but we can see the finish line. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. And then putting it up here, would that create more leverage?
Yeah, the closer.
Move it, yeah, move the fulcrum. And oh, we pushed the sleeve through. Oops. Sorry guys. My bad. That's from our paid tier. Yeah,
going into the sleeve.
Reset.
Yeah.
Okay, that's through the sleeve. More.
Good, one more college.
Okay.
Oomph.
Yeah. Ah.
There you go.
Yay. Oh,
Here's your lift.
look at that sucker. Whoa. Yeah, so very cool trick I saw on the internet.
Very cool, Jeremy.
Yeah, very cool. You just need your buddy, close buddy. And oh, just gotta, yeah, put the C-clamp over and use the pry bar to just lever that down. All right, we got one more side. We're dropping this thing down. We're not recording that. No, enough embarrassment for one day. Okay, back is done. So obviously sun's going down. Took a little bit longer, a couple hiccups, things I wasn't expecting, but we got there. You can see poking out right here, new shackles. They're normal, they were tucked up before, so you can see how much of a lift it's supposedly adding. She's free. What do you think? Oh. Oh. She's up there. She's up there. I do want to do like the grand reveal with the new tires. I already have the tires. I just had to give them on. So we're just going to do a quick cut. And next time you see it, it'll be finished product with the wheels, how it's going to look for the first, for this first part of the journey. So let's do that. And here she is. Lifted. She's done. Check it out. She's huge. Oh. All right. So yeah, lift done on these nice, beautiful, meaty Mickey Thompson tires. These are the tires that I decided to go with. I'm very excited about them. They're 33s. So I went with the Mickey Thompson Baja Legends. The reason why I chose these are a like aggressive all-terrain. The reason why I chose these is because Justin went with the Mickey Thompson Baja Bosses, super aggressive ATs. And Justin and I have this habit of seeing one person gets a tire, we both think they're the coolest thing ever. The other person gets the tire and we rock the same tires. We both had Geolander MTG 003s on our Toyotas. So I thought I was kind of falling into that same trap going here, but I was cross-shopping a lot. And I saw that a lot of people were having trouble choosing between the Baja Legends and the Baja Bosses. These are kind of, in my opinion, and a lot of the internet's opinion, like the best all-terrain tire you can buy right now. But a lot of people, they're pretty heavy. They're really heavy duty. These are kind of like a step down, and people cross-shop them a ton. And there's not a lot of information of them like actually side-by-side, back-to-back, long-term reviews on both tires. So my thought is that we'll run both of these tires and then be able to tell you guys a lot of the differences between the two and what might be a better choice for you. Because while these have the aggressive side biters, asymmetric tread, the list goes on and on. We'll talk about those. These is a more old school original version of the tire. It's 2-ply instead of 3-ply, so it's a little bit lighter and deforms more around rocks. And my favorite part, because it's not asymmetric tread, they can put white lettering on the side. This is like the worst one that's all beat up, but this side is beautiful white lettering. And I'm just kind of like a sucker for the white lettering. I'm a white letters out type of guy. So stay tuned for that. Let us know if you want to see that comparison video on those two tires. But this is how the truck's going to sit for the foreseeable future. Spacer lift on, big tires on. Here is the truck. Please let me know what you guys think. Yeah. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the build idea. Let me know what you think about the tires. Let me know what you think about any of this stuff. You know, we're just doing random stuff to trucks, trying to have a good time. And thank you so much, Max Speeding Rods, for sending this this lift kit out for us and everything, and letting us showcase it on here. If you guys want to buy Max Speeding Rods products, you know, you can use our code BRO10 on their website and get yourself a cheeky little discount for that. And, you know, you can also just look for it on Amazon, stuff like that too. They run sales all the time. You don't necessarily have to give us any money for that. Like, we mostly do this for you guys. But yeah, thank you everybody. And we will see you guys in the next one.